Hey guys, welcome to Spilling the Beans. I am Tim Bratz, and I'm up at the Legacy Lodge in Franklin, North Carolina at our 3-year veteran member retreat. Everybody who's been in the Legacy family for 3 years or more, which that's how long we've been around, we do a retreat every year now. This is the first one. That we bring out all the veteran members, and there's just a different level of conversation. So super pumped to have this first group here. We're going to be doing it again next year for all the members that are then in the mastermind for at least 3 years or more. And it's just a different, again, level of conversation. So today I'm sitting down with Cory Janson. He is partnered up with his family to scale their rental portfolio. They have over 100 doors. They're picking up another 200 in the next couple of months and continuously scaling. They also own a couple of businesses like laundromats and some other things. And I'm excited to hear what those key ideas, strategies, and things were to help them grow to where they've gotten today, and how they're going to continue to expand, and what ideas, strategies, relationships, connections, skill sets that you need in order to get to the level that they're at. Cory, what's up, buddy?
Doing good. How you doing?
Welcome to Spilling the Beans, or beers, or waters, or whatever. Yeah. So, dude, I've had some great conversations with you, with your sister, with your dad about the business. I want to know a little bit about how you became a business owner, right? How'd you get into real estate? What excited you about that? And really, I want to know, like, what have been the pivotal moments, the real changes, the key relationships, ideas, strategies, insights, mindset shifts, philosophies, whatever, that have like fueled your growth and really the quantum leaps, right? Like, what helps somebody have quantum leaps, go from 0 units to over 100 units like you guys have, and now doubling your portfolio every year from then on. So first off, let's start out with your backstory. How'd you get started in real estate?
So yeah, absolutely. So starting off, I was not an entrepreneur. I was an employee. 9 to 5, I was an engineer, worked.
Do you think anybody can be a business owner, or do you think people are born business owners?
See, I know there's a lot of controversy back and forth. I think anybody can be a business owner. I think everybody is a business owner. I think it's the path we end up going down, how we're raised. There's a lot of factors into that. But I think truly anybody can be a business owner if they really want to be.
Well, dude, if you look back hundreds of years, like pretty much everybody was like a business owner. They all had their own farm, or they sold their own goods, or like they were a merchant or something along those lines. But most, I don't know, far more percentage of people, I would think, were kind of business owners and had their own thing. So it's like everybody could be a business owner.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's a screw loose on a couple of these billionaires and stuff, and the really, really big business owners, 100 millionaires and probably bigger. But I think anybody can build an 8-figure business.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's something that, like you say, if you have to manage yourself, you're managing a business, right? You treat yourself like a business, and it's you're going to grow. But yeah, for me, I was an employee 9 to 5, and like everything else, the world shut down and COVID happened. I ended up losing my job. And luckily, prior to that, this is so cliche, but I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I was hating my job in a way.
It's so silly how many people, not silly, it's unbelievably profound how many people have been impacted by that book.
100%. And what's funny is I got handed that book out of college, and I put it on my bookshelf, and I didn't touch it for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then one day I was having a bad day at work, and I picked it up and I started reading it, and it was like a light bulb went off. And I was like, I don't know if real estate's my passion, but it's going to get me away from what I don't like. And man, I started studying, got into some education courses, and then in 2020, after COVID had hit, my job took a hit, and they had to make layoffs, and I got let go. Mm-hmm. And I smiled all the way home, and I never looked back because I knew what I was doing. I knew I was going into real estate. So that was the first pivotal moment where I was like, okay, here's the chance. The stars are aligning. I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. And then luckily in 2019, we met you and your group through our other real estate stuff, and we got signed up with you guys and started going to summits. And that was the next pivotal moment, really, when we started meeting people. Mm-hmm. Because we met all these people. I remember I sat next to a guy, no units. We were just sitting there brand new, and hearing a story of a guy like, oh yeah, I just bought 1,700 units this year. And I'm just like, oh man, like, okay. But for me, it was a, oh man, this guy's so lucky. It wasn't that. It was man, if this guy can do that, why can't I? Like, why can't I have that? And that's where like the mindset shift just happened right there. And I was like, I'm going to do this. And that's where we're going.
That's a wild thing about being in like at the summits. It's like somebody owns 30 units or 60 units, and it's like one of the smaller portfolios, right?
Yeah.
And if you go anywhere else in the world, right, and have a conversation with somebody, tell me you own 60 rentals, they'd be like, holy shit, like, how did you get there? That's unbelievable. And it's like, yeah, okay, dude, you're doing great. How do we help you get to the next level, right? Like it's not, there's no ego, but it's like, people are content and ambitious, which is like the ultimate place that you want to be in life is like, hey, I got these great assets that's spitting off cash flow or paying out principal and yada, yada, yada. And then, I have a level of contentness, but I still want to grow. I still want to, take on some more doors. So I think it's awesome, man. So how did you guys, like, were you buying rentals already before you got let go from your job?
No. When I got let go from my job, we were just in the process of buying, and we had like 3 single-family homes. That was it. I can't remember if it was right before that we bought them or right after, but right in that time period. Like, we were pretty much starting from scratch. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, now you're 3-4 years further. You have how many doors?
We've got a little over 100 doors. Working on about 200 more. We're going to triple our portfolio here pretty in the next couple months. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. What were some of the key takeaways that you've learned over the past few years of trial and error and being in the right rooms, and like things that you learned from people and things that you learned from your own experience that you wish you would have known earlier or implemented earlier, or like a key skill set that you wish you would have really honed in on sooner? So
there's a couple things like raising capital is always a number one. If you can raise capital, you can pretty much do anything. But one of the things
dude, that is the secret sauce to this business and most business. If you raise money, you have value in every industry, in 100%. Every asset class, in every market or economic cycle. If you can raise money, that is a secret sauce.
100%. The other thing that kind of really hit me is that success has changed for me, right? So when I first started, we talked about this earlier, where I started in, I wanted 4,000 doors, 5,000 doors by the end. I think we have it written down somewhere that we wanted 5,000 doors by the end of this year, something like that, something crazy, right? And I told you, like, I'd rather have 10 units to pay me really well than 5,000 doors, right? Yeah. Like, success is different. Like, it's different for me now than it was then, because I realized that it's not the number of doors, it's the quality of the doors you can bring in. If I can do 10 that do really well, I don't need 5,000 that are struggling on, spending 80 hours a week on and have to build an entire team they're kicking butt to try to get through it.
Oh, man.
It's a lot easier to do that on a smaller scale, and there's just different ways to go about it, right? Now, if I get 5,000 doors, I'm going to be peachy and happy, and I'm going to probably be working my butt off. But at the same time, there's other ways to do that.
If they're stabilized, if they're good properties,
exactly.
Good areas with good debt,
exactly.
In-house manage that, you're going to hold on to long term.
That's the good thing about like the group. You can learn from people's experiences, right? Like, you can hear your story, you can hear all the other people's in the group stories, and they say, the people that were buying a lot of units 3 years ago and that had a lot of these units, they're offloading a bunch of those. They're paring down. They're realizing that, nope, success isn't that. This is what success is now. And so it's
that's
good.
A difference of the conversations that we've been having upstairs is like, what really matters? What really is success? How do you define success? And usually it's less about the money, more about what the money can do.
Right.
And you don't need as much as maybe you thought you did or whatever.
No.
You can have a pretty remarkable lifestyle, without having to light the world on fire. So that's great, man. Tell me a little bit about how you would like to see things progress over the course of the next 12 months. So the first 3 months of next year, like, you're taking down a couple hundred units. What about the next 9?
So we've looked at, so it's kind of funny because we've set up, a lot of people have set up their business where they go in and they get a lot of cash flow. So they get a lot of active income, right? They wholesale, they fix and flip, they do these things, take that money, convert it, put it into long-term buy and holds, things like that. With me and my family, it's been a little different, where we've had some successes in our business and we've made some money. So we took that money and we put it into some long-term holds. So right now, we have the next 8-10 years pretty panned out pretty well. Like, we've got some long-term things that are going to turn around great. So we're looking at some more short-term cash flow stuff to kind of bring in some, and so we're looking at maybe some more active income plays.
So you're looking at your portfolio, and you're saying, hey, we own $10 million plus. We're really going to be around $25 million of property.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And you're thinking, hey, over the next 20 years, I'll have almost all of this stuff paid off, and it will probably double in value. Yeah. So now we're looking at $50 million of property with, I don't know, let's call it $5 to $10 million of debt on it, right? Yeah. That's still owed. So you have 40 million. So you have that long-term play.
Yep.
I understand the long-term game. That's amazing. And then I don't have to worry about that anymore. Like that's awesome. And now you're focused more on like the short-term, quicker cash, building up businesses and that side of things.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we've looked at. We've had a couple of businesses. We have laundromat businesses that have been very successful, and we have kind of looked at growing that portfolio a little bit because it's great active income, brings in good. It's pretty easy and stable. It's recession proof. We're looking at some recession proof businesses as well, just because what's going to happen in the next 5 years, nobody knows, right? There's just the world can fall apart. It can be fine. So we're just going to looking for some things that can be stable and really. Kind of just ride through whatever happens.
I love it, man. That's amazing. So 3 years later, actually almost 4 years in Legacy Family, what has been the big aha? Like, how has it changed your life? Not like the group, not necessarily, but like the philosophies in the group, the ideas, the strategies, the people. Like, how has it changed your life being in a mastermind and committing to 3 years of being in a group like this?
Well, for one, it's the people. It's 100% of the people because and I've always said this, after you are around these people and you see what's possible, and you have all these conversations with people that say, if you say, hey, I want 5,000 doors, and the people say, oh, cool, how are you going to do it? How can I help? Yep. You go home and you get around certain people who say, I want 5,000 doors, and they laugh at you and say, yeah, okay, good job, Warren Buffett, nice try, good luck. And then, so it's a mindset. You get around people that say, yeah, you can do it, I'll help you, like, let's go. And then versus people that, maybe they're your friends, maybe they're your family that say, okay, buddy, go for it. Let's see what you can do.
Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They're trying to protect you in a different way.
Keep that resume
doesn't
crisp.
Support you.
Yeah, and you're just like, So, that's really the biggest thing is that it's, they're more or less your cheerleaders, right? They got your back, and I have not reached out to a person here, whether I'm at a summit or at home emailing, that has not immediately given me a reply back and with more help than I needed. Yep. So it's like your success is almost just as important to them as their own success.
Yep.
And it's a really kind of a go-giver attitude, and that's the big thing I like about the group and being around these people, and that's the biggest thing that I get from just the whole thing in general.
I love it, man. Well, dude, it's super exciting to see what you guys have already built. It's exciting to see what you're going to do in the next 90 days. It's exciting to understand what the vision looks like for the next 3 years also. And dude, what I love about it is we're all growing together. Everybody, you can talk about growth in any different way, but growing as individuals, growing as better friends, family members, spouses, parents, right? And we're also growing the business, and we're also growing in all these different ways. Health, right? You lost 20, 25 pounds, something like that.
Close to 25 pounds, yeah.
Because, I'm not saying it's because of this, but there's a lot of, hey man, let's do the step challenge. Hey man, let's do the push-up challenge. Let's do the squat challenge. And so we have these other things, even though it's a real estate group, it's about way more than that, and it's about helping and supporting each other in all these different facets of life.
100%. It's like it's being successful in life, not just business.
Right.
Right. It's how to be a better spouse, how to be a better father, how to be just healthy physically and mentally. There's so much more to it, right?
Yep. And we have a good time, right?
100%. Sometimes too good a time.
Yeah. I was feeling that this morning, how good of a time we had last night.
My legs aren't quite working from the hike yesterday, so that's all right.
Yeah. But no, man, it's cool, and the vision of thinking forward of, dude, people going from zero to where they are today in 36 months.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine going from where they are today to what they can accomplish in the next 36 months?
Yeah.
Think about if you stay arms linked, hanging out, and and then all of a sudden somebody exits their business in year 4, year 5 for $100 million, and then they invest with you, and then you go and buy 2,000 doors with their money. It's about staying connected. It's 100%. About maintaining the relationships and staying in the room, and that's where I think a lot of people fall off is They look at these short-term circumstances, right? And they make long-term decisions based on those, and that's where people mess things up.
Well, it's the thing where, you know, the last 3 years I was the brand new kid on the, you know, at the table and just learning, and look at me 3 years later, we got 100 plus doors, a couple businesses, we're doing great. Now, the next 3 years, like you said, it's exponential. I'm going to take that next 3 years, but now I know what I know after 3 years, and I'm going to learn and take and apply that to the next. So you're going to exponentially grow.
Yep.
And I think that people just, like you said, they look at that first picture and say, I don't know enough, I can't be in this group, but you got to stick around, right? You got to learn. Everybody started somewhere. Warren Buffett didn't know everything when he first started going. He had to learn just like everybody else, but you got to get around the right teachers and around the right people to say you can. Versus the people that are going to knock you down, right?
I mean, you make a great point there, because it's not about the starting power, it's about the staying power.
100%.
Right? 90% of people have a goal to make more money, lose some weight, and they get started at the beginning of the year. But they don't have the staying power after 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. They all fall off. If you have the staying power, dude, that's what separates
100%.
the amateurs from the professionals.
It's not the intensity, it's the consistency.
Yep.
You can do it day after day, just one step at a time.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, appreciate you being here on Spill the Beans. We are here every Sunday sharing entrepreneurial information with you about how you can take your business, whether that's a real estate business or traditional business, to the next level. So I appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to our channel. Give me some takeaways, some great takeaways in the comments section below. We'll see you next week on Spilling the Beans.